Hello, my name's David Linton, and in this 10-minute video, I want to give you an idea of how you can do your own financial health check for 2024 on the instruments you hold just for yourself. And I just want to share this with you and show you how to do it. And we launched these new price targets just at the end of last year. Lots of our clients have adopted them, and we're now just starting to offer some trials. So I just want to show you how you get started. And for example, today gold has activated a new upside target on the short-term 60-minute chart. That's 3% higher, and we've got an upside target on the daily chart. So that's looking really, really interesting. So we're going to just start with a blank canvas, and I'm going to just literally hit the key. I've got lots of different data services, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But if I want to look at Apple, this is just coming off Yahoo, free data. I just press the T key, and it puts the trends and targets on the chart for me. And what's really interesting is we had these upside targets that were given last year and met. We've got a new one that's given, but it only is activated once we move above that level, and this target will turn green, from orange to green. So we're watching that now on Apple. Really very interesting to see. So before we go and look at more in depth at stocks, I need to just talk to you about a couple of things first of all. Now, the first one is data. Updata is compatible with dozens of different data services, so it's almost certain that it's compatible with whatever you're already using, and you just click in these data services and straight away you can run Updata on it. It could be Bloomberg, could be anything you've got, but probably the best thing is just to look at this list. It's up on our website, and here it is in this video. You can pause the video now and just see these are some popular private investor ones. But again, we're compatible with pretty much everything you can think of, and this just gives you an idea of the different costs. And the one that I'm going to use today is Yahoo, because it's freely available, and that's one that anyone can use. So we will use that in conducting our own financial health check. Now, the other thing that's really important is what's your time horizon. And in determining what's going to happen to your stocks or your Bitcoin, could be whatever you've got as your holdings or your trading, your investment. If you're thinking about what's going to happen in the next week, the next few days, you want to be looking at 60-minute charts. Now, Yahoo is only daily data, and from that we can derive weekly and monthly charts. So from Yahoo data, which I'm going to focus on today, we're just looking at daily charts where we're thinking weeks ahead, and monthly charts, weekly charts where we're thinking months ahead. And so that's the basis on which I'm going to start. Now, what you need to do is build your own list, and that's really easy to do. You just literally can build a list of stocks. Just go here and create a list, and the beauty of Yahoo is it literally covers pretty much everything. So you could be thinking of something like Samsung, for example, and sure enough, there's the Samsung chart in Korea. And so all this data is readily available to you, and you can just add it into your list. Now, because we've only got 10 minutes, I've actually created my own list, and what I've done here is I've created a weekly and a daily chart, and I'm going to actually just do this again. So I'm going to close those charts down, and I'm going to just literally create this same screen. And you'll find this screen in Updata. You can actually just go and download the same screen. Now, I want to have that one as a daily, and this one, the first one, I have it as a weekly. Just click that button there. So I've got a long term. It actually says long term on your chart, and I've got a medium term chart. And I like having this double view, so I can think about what's happening in the coming weeks, and in the coming months. And this is really what you want to do. And to resolve those time frames is a really valuable thing to do as well. So then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tile these, and very conveniently there's one here called Charts Today layout, which is the layout that I use all the time. And so this is the weekly chart and the daily chart. Now, if I hit the T key, and you can do this on any chart, and you'll notice that I use the clouds. By hitting the T key, it just puts all the trends and targets on straight away. And then I just zoom that so that I'm seeing my targets into the future. I can read off the date at where they're going to happen in the future. So this one's saying March. And so that's the beauty of it, is that not only do I have a target, but I have an idea of when it's going to happen. That's totally unique in these new targets. And the clients that are using this are loving the fact that they can have a feel for when a price target is going to be met. You can do this on any instrument, on any time frame, depending on the data service you've got, of course. But here we're just looking at daily and weekly data on freely available data. Now, on the weekly, I'm going to press the T key again. And now the targets are going to be slightly different, but what I'm also going to do is just change the unit size. Now, watch one of my longer videos for understanding that. But here we see now we've got targets for Apple on the longer term, and these are now pointing into next year, into the summer. And these targets here, this is AstraZeneca. If I actually turn these into tracker charts, just by clicking here and clicking here, you've now got the basis for doing your analysis. It's that simple. Just download a trial, follow what I've just done. Anyone can do this, and now you can just run through your list. And if you want to add something to the list, really simple. You just go add to watch list, and you can add in anything you want, and you can just literally search. It'll give you every exchange you can think of. So if you wanted to add Microsoft, you just type in Microsoft or the long name. It's already in the list, but you can add as many as you want. I quite often with institutional clients will run through a list of 100 stocks where we're just doing this exact same process. And I say to them, you can do this yourself, and I teach them how to do it, and then they're just doing it. And this is something you can do at any time on any stock. So let's run through them. What's a good looking stock and what's not? So at least the targets are up. We're above the cloud on the weekly. On the daily, we're waiting to activate that target as we were talking about. AstraZeneca, a UK stock. I've just chosen a group of stocks at random. Really interesting here. The long-term chart is pretty good. We're waiting to see if this downside target gets activated with a new low, and we already have that on the daily chart, although this is the target that's currently in train, the last target more important, and we have crossed back above the cloud. So it just gives us an idea. I just added some stocks from all over the world. This is the ANZ Bank in Australia, upside target in train on the weekly, just waiting for that 25.90 level to break 26, but that's looking pretty good. And then if we look here, we're again waiting for this upside target to break and activate. So really just a very interesting situation. And that's the great thing, is you can look at any chart cold and get an idea of what's happening. I just did BMW, looking really good on the long-term chart. We've met that target that was given back in October. It was met earlier than the target predicted, and now we've got a little downside one in train. So something to think about. Diageo, not looking great here. We're below the cloud on the weekly and below the cloud on the daily. And you just need to run through your own list of stocks to see for yourself, are they going to go up or are they going to go down? And when you see all these arrows pointing down, that's a real red flag. You want stocks where you've got lots of green train tracks going up the hill. So we've got Flutter here. I used to hold Flutter, but I sold them when I started to see these downside targets kicking in last year. And you can see that it's really been bad from there on in. LVMH in France, I've just again chosen a whole list of random stocks here. And again, looking great on the long term, but we're just about to activate this downside target. And on the daily chart, we already have that one in train and we're below the cloud. Microsoft, looking better than Apple, breaking to new highs. Interestingly, no clear targets on the weekly, but you can't ignore this daily. And of course, if you've got a real-time data feed, you could look at 60-minute charts to get the short-term view as well. Telstra in Australia, here we see, just given a new upside target that's literally just been activated. And you can actually scan for targets, stocks with the best upside. So it's really, if you want to go and find these stocks, you can do that. They're a very interesting cloud cross and a target all starting to line up. And last of all, we look at Vodafone, the telco in the UK versus the telco in Australia, not looking anywhere near as good. Downside targets here all the way. Not a stock you want to be in when you see all those downside targets. We're below the cloud on the daily and on the weekly, so it's really quite key. But remember, it's that simple. You can just build your own list, look at these charts, just follow me, do it for yourself. It's free, a free health check. Just do it in January because that's the only time we're doing it, but give it a go. Until then, bye for now.